Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good afternoon to everyone. My name is Nashaya and I'm from Airline. I study aviation management, bachelor's of aviation management. So today I'm gonna talk about fuel hedging and the impact of fuel hedging to the airline industry. So first of all, we need to know what fuel hedging is. So it is a contractual to some large fuel companies like airlines. They used to reduce their exposure to volatility and potentiality in rising fuel costs. So the cost of fuel hedging depends on the predicted future price of fuels. Airlines they may place hedges either based on future prices of jet fuel or on future prices of crude oil. So because crude oil is the source of jet fuel, the price of crude oil and jet fuel are normally correlated. However, other factors such as difficulties regarding refinery capacity may cause unusual divergence in the trends of crude oil and jet fuel. So that's all about the background and history of fuel hedging. So the next topic I'll be talking about is why airlines hedge fuel. What is the need for the airlines to hedge fuel? So basically, it is to avoid any financial consequences caused by airline industry downturns. For example, if the fuel price goes up in the future, the airlines benefit as they have hedged fuel in advance. So the fuel hedging strategy has questionable utility over the long term. Airlines that follow this practice are locking in some of their future fuel consumption each month, and over time, these companies' fuel costs are tied to the market price, just as they would be if they did not hedge at all. So the only difference is one of timing. Hedging programs tend to smooth out the cost of fuel over time. Next, I'll be talking about the current issues in fuel hedging. So, the question here is what are the current issues when we hedge fuel? So, the extension of fuel hedging contracts by some major airlines, for example, Singapore Airlines or Southwest Airlines. So, as the OPEC countries cuts and reduce tension between the United States and Iran, countries like China, Russia, United States, they're producing oil. It means that the price of fuel is not predictable. So the airlines are not sure whether to hedge fuel or not. So what is more important is that most airlines and their customers need to be patient as lower fuel prices will be realized within time, with a time lag due to forward fuel buying practices that are aimed at protecting both airlines and their consumers. When we talk about fuel hedging and the impact of fuel hedging to the airline industry, it is important that we know the future analysis of fuel hedging and its impact. So, what the question here is, what is the future analysis for fuel hedging and the impacts? So, politics and policies of the countries will play a major role in the fuel prices in the future. The price is expected to be as high as $120 in 2018 due to global production and global demand because the demand and supply is not very balanced. So a week fuel price could lift oil towards $60 per barrel in second quarter of 2017, and also if OPEC countries extends the price of oil. Next, I'll be talking about how fuel hedging is a loss for the airlines. So basically, fuel hedging is a loss on financial products. So how fuel hedging is a loss on financial products is some airlines they had undergone a loss up to let's say $450 million due to fuel hedging. For example, United Airlines they faced $100 million loss for each $1 change, or $500 million in a single quarter in 2008. So when airlines hedge fuel, they buy fuel in bulk for 3 to 5 years, and the price they have to pay is the market price at the time of hedging. So even if the fuel price drops in the future, they still have to pay the price at which they bought the fuel. So this is how airlines face huge losses because normally when airlines hedge fuel, they buy a lot of fuel and it is a lot of money. In February 2010, Japan Airlines Corporation, they filed for bankruptcy under the weight of $25.4 billion of losses, out of which $441 million was attributed to hedging, mostly on forward Brent crude oil contracts. So, what are the benefits for the airlines when they hedge fuel? So, basically, I have found three main benefits for the airline industry as a whole when airlines hedge fuel. So, the first one is it controls costs. As we all know that fuel it comprises of around 30% of the total operating cost of the airline. So, when airlines hedge fuel, they help it helps the airline to control its cost, and also it stabilizes the cash flow of the airline, and moreover it reduces the volatility in earnings. So lastly, I'll be talking about the relationship between fuel hedging and aviation finance. So as we all know that fuel hedging is a cost management strategy used by many airlines in the world. So aviation finance is all about the cash flow, the controlling of cost, yield management, its revenue management, and profit and loss of the airline. And fuel hedging helps the airlines to stabilize the cash flow by reducing the volatility in earnings. So fuel covers almost 30% of the total operating costs, and the financial people can now control cost when the fuel is hedged. And also, investors can gain exposure to the industry through the iShares transportation average, which holds 23% of its portfolio in airlines. And also, high revenue growth shows demand for a company's business and its ability to earn revenue year after. So, in a nutshell, fuel accounts around more than 35% of an airline's operating costs, and it is the number one expense for airlines ahead of labor costs. So, airlines basically they need to rein in fuel costs to stay afloat. Indeed, achieving the lowest fuel unit cost has become the strategy for excellence for airlines to maintain a competitive edge. So this strategy can either be a drawback or a plus point for some airlines, and some airlines face huge losses while others they are gaining much profit from this cost management strategy. So I think that's all about my topic, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video. Hit a like to my video. Thank you guys.